Hi there. My name is Shaquille Barmel, and I am the CEO and founder of Ocean Blue Strategic and partner with the Summit Group. As a speaker, coach, and consultant, I focus on helping leaders, teams, and organizations navigate disruption with competence, character, and commitment. There is a school of thought that says that the past is best left in the past. There's no good in dredging up the past. Move forward. I don't agree. While I don't think we are well served to live in the past, I do believe that reflecting on our past experiences can be a source of tremendous insight. It's been a quite well accepted fact now that strong leaders have a disciplined and regular practice of self reflection. The most self aware leaders are excellent learners in all aspects of their work and life. Mindfulness practices like meditation and silent contemplation, time in nature, exercise rituals, reflective reading, or journaling, these are all excellent practices of reflection, which strengthen our capacity to learn. I believe that these practices are absolutely critical, particularly during times of disruption, like the one we are living in now. I have spent much of the last year trying to understand how we learn. I don't mean learning from courses or reading, although that is part of it. Rather, I mean how we draw lessons from childhood onwards, from the experiences that we have and the people that we meet. There is a well established model of learning and development called 70-20-10. It suggests that 70% of learning comes from experiences, 20% from peers, and only 10% from reading courses, listening to podcasts, and other forms of formal learning. A couple of months ago, a wise teacher, a leadership coach named Rob McNamara, said to me that most of our growth comes from our relationships. I have been thinking a lot about that statement and all the learning principles I have studied this year, and I have concluded that Rob is right, at least for me. So I'm embarking on a journey of self-exploration, and I would be delighted to have you join me. I plan to explore the relationships, interactions, and experiences that are etched in my memory. I'm starting with the hypothesis that because these are vivid in my memory, they are of some significance to my behaviors, attitudes, and decision making in my day to day leadership. As I reflect on the experiences and people that have shaped me, I will share what I have learned from each. I would love to build a community of professionals who are willing to explore and share experiences that have shaped how they show up in the world. It would be cool to share with each other how lessons from childhood, adolescence, and young adulthood translated into our good and not so good practices as leaders and professionals. In a Harvard Business Review article called The Authenticity Paradox, Professor Ibarra states something that has made me think deeply about how my leadership style evolved. Dr. Ibarra suggests that, consciously or not, we allow our personal narratives formed from defining moments in our lives to paint a self-image. Our self-image guides us in new situations. But as we grow, sometimes it's necessary to alter or even discard certain narratives, craft new interpretations, or select different defining moments as touch points. I key in on this word sometimes. It takes a lot of self-awareness and experimentation to know what to keep, what to change, and when. And as I prepare some of the stories which I will share with you, I in fact will find myself, I'm sure, modifying the stories and lessons drawn relative to what I had been carrying around in my head for years. I have always been a nostalgic person. I love memories. I love rolling around in them, reliving them. I think I get that from my mom. When we were kids, she would often say things like, "Last year at this time, we were doing such and such," or 10 years ago today. That was years before Facebook introduced the whole memories feature. She would have loved that. I am a huge Mad Men fan. And one of my favorite Don Draper quotes was in the season 1 finale. He was giving a pitch to Kodak executives in 1960 to prepare for the launch of their new slide projector, the one with the rotating carousel. And here is a brief clip of that pitch. You might have to turn your volume up just a little bit for this one. What you'll hear in the background is the clicking of the slide projector. So what Don is doing, he's actually showing images of his family over the previous 10 years. And as he's doing so, he's personally reflecting on the way he's managed his relationship with his wife and his children.
Nostalgia. It's delicate, but potent. Teddy told me that in Greek, nostalgia literally means the pain from an old wound. It's a twinge in your heart, far more powerful than memory alone. This device isn't a spaceship. It's a time machine. It goes backwards and forwards. It takes us to a place where we ache to go again. It's not called the wheel. It's called the carousel. It lets us travel the way a child travels. Round and around, and back home again. To a place where we know we are loved.
Now, this pitch resonated with me when the episode first aired in 2007, and it has stayed with me since. The whole series of Mad Men was a personal journey where the main character, Don, connected the dots between his behavior in the present to the experiences and people of his childhood. We got to watch as he tried desperately to increase his self-awareness and become a better person and leader despite his upbringing. As images of my life flash through my mind, going backwards and forwards, I relive the experiences, and I am pretty sure they impact my interactions today. I also believe that learning to draw connections between our past and our present enable us to be much more deliberate and intentional in learning from our real-world experiences in the present. We are exposed to so many interactions and conversations every minute of every day. Imagine if we could turn each one into a learning moment. How powerful would that be? I have an exercise for you to do. So, first, get out a piece of paper and something to write with. Now, I want you to draw a line across that page. At the start of the line, write the word born, B-O-R-N. And at the end of the line, write the word today, T-O-D-A-Y. Now, this line is your life. I want you to find the midpoint of that line and write your age. So, if you are 52 today, you would write 26 at the midpoint. Now, go close to the born point and try to recall your very first memory. It could be your first fall, it could be a special birthday gift, or the first time you tried ice cream. For me, my first memory was when I thought that a seed of a green chili looked like a cucumber seed. And I loved cucumbers. I ate the seed and all hell broke loose in the house. Me with tears and flailing arms, and my mother desperately trying to wash my mouth out. The memory is so vivid even today. Now, I know you must have a memory like that as well. Now, I want you to think of another memory somewhere between that first memory and the midpoint. Is there an incident whose memory keeps coming back to you over and over again in your life? Find the age of that memory and mark that point. Now, I want you to write down these 3 questions. Why is this memory so vivid? What did I learn from that experience? And how does that experience impact me today? Really quick, one more time. Question 1, why is this memory so vivid? Question 2, what did I learn from that experience? And question 3, how does that experience impact me today? Now, don't answer this now, but I want you to take some time to think about that the next time you go out for a walk, or if you want, right after you finish listening to this episode. Notice your emotions. Notice your energy. Why does this memory make you feel that way? Now, there is no right answer to any of these questions. That's not the point. The point is to recognize how much insight you can gain about yourself from this kind of reflection. And recognize if you can gain this much insight from one memory with a few questions, imagine what else is possible. Your life is filled with experiences. It's filled with opportunities for personal insight and reflection that you can bring forward into your day today. And then imagine what would be possible if you use this practice actually every single day to reflect on the previous day's events and experiences and emotions. If we can integrate these kinds of practices into our life, our learning will be accelerated. From minute to minute, we will be growing because of the practice of regular reflection on our emotions, our experiences, and the interactions we have with people. That's powerful. My boys are almost men now, but when they were young children, I had a bedtime ritual with them. After I read them a story, I would ask them to pick an age of my life, and I would tell them a story from that year. One day, when my younger son was about 10, he referenced something from one of the stories I had told him when he was 3. I could not believe it. The power of childhood stories transcends generations. Let me come back to why I think you should take the time to reflect on your past. By unpacking your past, you are not only gaining insight into why you are the way you are developing the capacity to unlearn and let go of those traits that are not serving you in these current times. It will also help you understand your strengths and core beliefs that have been bolstering your performance, so you can invest further in these areas. By disassembling your behaviors, mindsets, and practices from your past, you can fine-tune them and reassemble them. And with that, you are creating the capacity to adapt and shift as the demands on you change. It will also help improve your judgment. It will help to make you situationally aware, especially when facing very complicated facts in the environment. It'll enable you to be more decisive and to seek insight from others. It'll strengthen your ability to think critically and balance the need for intuition and insight. It'll help you be more adaptable. And that is something we all need going forward. As this series continues, I will pepper in episodes with various stories from my own reflections, my own life, and interviews of some of the central characters in these stories. Some of them I may have not spoken to in years. Perhaps they will share a different side of the memories that I have and provide their own lessons. I will also be bringing you episodes on various topics related to leading during disruption, with special guests and business leaders and subject matter experts. So until next time, thanks for listening today, and I hope you have a fantastic week.